Welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. Whether you're watching us live at sktrading.live or listening on your favorite podcast platform, we've got you covered. Subscribe, join the community, and get ready to dive into real talk and real market insights. Let's get started.
Hi everyone, I'm Stephen Kalayjian and welcome to the Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Wow, I am absolutely exhausted. First of all, this morning, out of the gate, the market was all bulled up. There were reports that President Trump is going to meet President Xi in early May to discuss the trade tariffs and try to come to a conclusion on this. S&P futures traded as high as 54.99 and 3/4. And whoever bought up there, he jumped. Because I'll tell you, after we were calling shorts up there because we had non-confirmations, the things I'm going to show you here today are the patterns, which is absolutely amazing. We had the non-confirmations. I'm staring right at them. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing, who was buying up there. The MACDs were non-confirming on the index futures on the 30-minute time frames. And, people say to me all the time, like, why do you leave all these charts up and everything? Why don't you just tab through things? Are you crazy? I leave things up so I can see it. And I'm dynamic in the approach and also to disseminate all the information along the way. So I'm seeing new highs here today, 54.99 and 3/4 on the S&P. God knows where the NASDAQ was, above 19,000, I think 180 or something like that. And out of nowhere, they just started dropping, and then kabooshed around 11 o'clock. The Secretary President came out and said no deals with China on the tariffs, and it could even take maybe 2 to 3 years to get this all worked out. Well, the market's sitting like that, and we dropped about well over 100 points on the S&P, down to the 53.87 and a half. So we dropped about 112 there. NASDAQ futures, I can only imagine how much they dropped. They dropped probably about 450 points, 400 points from there. Also, what about gold? Gold got absolutely kabooshed. Remember I told you that gold was about 200, and I'll show this all to you, about 250 points from the 10-bar weighted moving average on the daily charts when gold was trading above 35.10. Well, I told people I'd be looking to buy dust between 25 and 26. Dust was trading above 30 today. Gold traded all the way down to 32.71 and then closed here above 33.07, rallied about maybe 35 points at the end of the day. But gold was actually down at one point, $147 at one point today. Closed down about 113, down 3.3%. S&P futures closed up about 93. NASDAQ up about 450. Dow was up over 1,000 points at one point, sold about up 400 here. But again, the point here is the market is in a range here, 5,100 to the 5,500 range. In this range here, it's, as I call it, dead money until these tariffs are worked out. And, the market is just hinging on every word about this deal with China. I'm telling you, they're moving, S&Ps will move in 10, 15, 25 out of clip. Bitcoin off the lows, beautiful pattern at the end of the day, and Bitcoin got deeply oversold. After the 30 and the 60-minute time frame reverse. I got to tell you, the patterns here were just absolutely amazing. So let's just go right to it because I have so much to show you. Great patterns in gold off the GLDs on the 15 and 30-minute time frames. Monster shorts and Lilly or on the sell divergences. I'm telling you, this morning I was shorting things. They were dropping every rally. I was shorting on every new high off of the ideas I was giving out in Palantir, in Microsoft, Meta, Amazon, Avago, NVIDIA, Apple, AMD, the spiders, the Qs, you name it, okay, off of that 30-minute sell divergence. As I said, between the hours of about 10 and 11 o'clock, I kept on saying, it's Christmas in April. People met their goals, some of them even by 10 a.m. on the shorts that we had. So let me just show you the pattern first of all. And this is the pattern I was showing you here off of the 60-minute, the 30 and the 60-minute time frames. All right. So this is the S&P futures. Let me put that up there. First of all, if I get this to push up, you can see here the new high right here. And basically what I saw here was that the MACDs, if you draw your horizontal line right here, if I draw my horizontal line, if I get it to work, you can see right here that the MACDs did not confirm the high. Look at that, 54.99 and 3/4. The MACDs did not confirm the high right there. 54.99 and 3/4. And you can see that the MACDs, and I was just saying I would short the world, right? It was unbelievable, the patterns here. And then the first pattern that we had on the long was off of now the spiders reversed the buy on the 15-minute time frame right here. You can see the gap. Let me just switch to the 15. Sorry. The 15-minute time frame reversed the buy right here. And you see this big gap. I mean, we didn't nowhere fill this gap. But this is the first pattern on the 5-minute time frame right here. After the 15 correlated with the 30 and the 60 right here. You can see the positive MACD rising ADX. And we got this, look at this, 540.85 on the spiders. And look at this move. They ran over 40 points on the S&P in 5 bars. In 5 bars. So in 25 minutes, the S&P futures ran over 40 points. This is the first pullback on the 5-minute time frame after the 15-minute time frame correlated with its 30 and 60. So you went into a complete buy trend. All right. Now, watch this. 15-minute time frame reverses to sell right here. All right. Couple little great short patterns off the 5-minute right here. When we started pushing down right here to the new lows right here on the day, right here, we were deeply oversold on the 15-minute time frame. But watch this. Again, identical to yesterday. Identical. The 30-minute time frame got oversold right here. Or you can see it right here. All right. And the 30-minute time frame oversold. The S&P, look at the spiders, 534.15, and you can see another 40-point rally on the S&Ps. Now, if you look here on the 15-minute time frame, again, the similar pattern as yesterday. When we got overbought into the negative MACDs, again, they stopped like a brick rock right here. All right, you can see the stop right here. On the high of at 130, 539.59, and you can see the drop here, another 40. Actually, 539 right here. They dropped about 60 points on the S&P. If I bring up the S&P futures, a complete different look on this one. The 15-minute time frame on the S&Ps, and I'll bring up the 30-minute, the 30 and the 15 on that push up. When you got the push up right here on the 15-minute time frame, you were negative on the 15 and the 30. So any push up right here into the negative MACD on the 30, the negative MACD on the 15, just gave me even more confidence to short that pattern on the S&Ps, on the whole market. Throw a dart, as I say. We had Apple cabooshed. We had Meta cabooshed. We had Nvidia cabooshed. Throw a dart. Everything lined up at that pattern. It was just unbelievable how everything lined up on that pattern at 130. Netflix was trading right here. Netflix was trading above the 1053, 1054. Netflix drops $10, $12. Everything lined up beautifully on this pattern. So again, this is why you have the charts up this is why I have the charts up the way I do. I have the underlying ETFs, the 15-minute, the 15-minute time frame, and on the 30 and 60-minute time frame. So when I got that sell reversal on the 15-minute time frame on the Qs, the spiders, the diamonds, I knew 85, 90% that the highs are in for the day when that 15-minute SPY reversed to sell the Qs, the diamonds, and the Russell. When we got that oversold condition, just like yesterday, the 15 and the 30 aligned and pushed upward. Guess what happened? He pushed up into that negative MACD, but this time, the S&P futures were negative on the 15 and the 30-minute time frame. And when you got that big push up at 130, when the S&Ps were pushing up, the spiders above the 539 level, we got the 60-point drop. The 15-minute, look at the overbought condition into the negative MACDs on the 15 and 30-minute time frame. S&P futures 54.41, right? Boom, look at that. Over close to 60 points on the S&P. 50, 58, 59 points. Again, on the overbought condition on the S&P futures, look at the algorithm reversing to sell on the 30. Look at the negative MACD. There's no way in hell they're going to make new highs. This was a screaming short. So not only did the spiders call the short on the 15-minute time frame, the S&P futures confirmed the short on the 15 and the 30-minute time frame. It is so important to be able to have the charts up properly so you can see these patterns. And these patterns are all divergence patterns, and these patterns repeat themselves over and over and over again. Netflix, Palantir, AMD, Apple, Russell, Qs. I mean, just throw a dart, okay? The high, I mean, and then if you want to see something, you can see the inverse here on the SQQQs, right? This is the Pro Ultra Short for the NASDAQ futures. I'll put the 15 here, and I'll put the 5 here. Look at the deep oversold condition into the positive MACD. So this gave me even more, a third layer of getting the ability, the confirmation for the short. So again, the 15-minute time frame on the spiders gets overbought into the negative MACD on the spiders. The 15-minute SQQQs, SDSs, TZAs get oversold into the positive MACD on the 15. You can see the SDSs here. Beautiful, right? Everything aligned. Look at this, 130, right? SDSs, S&Ps dropped 58. Look at the SDOWs for the Dow. Look at the SDOWs right here. Same pattern. This is why I leave everything up. I can see the whole world, okay? It's not to be put in the Guinness Book of World Records, but look at this, right? SDOWs, 56.28. Boom. Look at that. Okay, look at that drop. The diamonds on that pattern. You want to see a drop? Look what the diamonds did right here. Diamonds, 398.84. Boom. The Dow dropped over 400, close to 400 points. All right. The last one, the TZAs, which is the Russell, right? They don't move as much because it's a cheaper stock. Right here, 17.18, and it ran about 70 cents. But look at the IWMs. Beautiful. Look at the short in the IWMs. After the 15 reversed to sell, you can see the negative MACDs, same pattern, 192, boom, look at that, down to $1.60. So these patterns really repeat themselves, okay? And this is what I do each and every day here, and how I teach each and every one of you. It's important to see the structure by understanding how these patterns repeat. I want to show you Tesla. Monster day in Tesla. Monster day here. All right. 15-minute time frame reverses to buy on the gap up in Tesla after the earnings. This is the pull back into the positive MACD. Tesla opens at 55, pulls all the way in here. I'm make this to a 5-minute time frame. When Tesla gapped up, you can see the push up here. This is the 5-minute. You can see the push up. It opened at 54, pushes up to 55. Now, here's the problem with Tesla. You're making new highs and the non-confirmation on the 15. It immediately dropped, okay? Immediately dropped down to 244 and then ricochets right back up to 59. Now, This is the Picasso of the day. The first pattern on Tesla is right here. After you get the push up and the 15-minute time frame reverses to buy, and it correlates with the 30 and the 60-minute. This is the first pullback on Tesla after the 15-minute time frame goes into a buy trend. Look at this, 244, boom, $14. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars. Even if you got anywhere between $5 and $7, $8 on Tesla, it was a monster long. Oversold into the positive MACDs on the 15, 5 minute and the 15. Oversold into the rising ADXs on the 5, 15, 30 and hourly. Oversold into the buying pressure on the 5, 15, 30 and hourly. This is an absolute Picasso. This is the first pullback on the 5-minute time frame after the 15-minute time frame correlated to buy, and now you're in a buy trend. I mean, this is like, you have to know how to size. This is like an all-in. This is like an all-in pattern, okay? An all-in pattern. Now, what's the next best trade of the day? When the 15-minute time frame got deeply oversold on Tesla, the first pullback on the 15 after reverse to buy. Look at Tesla. We were buying this between 51 and 53. I blinked. 3 bars later, 45 minutes later, Tesla's up 5. A monster long on Tesla. Then the 5-minute time frame reverses to buy with the MACDs above the pivot. This is a set strategy. You take the short. You wait for the pullback. Drops about 2.5. You take the long on the double blue, the 5 correlating with the 15 right here. Okay. Again, I'll teach you this strategy. When the MACDs are above the pivot on the 15, 5, 15, 30 and hourly, and the algorithm reverses to buy, you take the short on the overbought condition right here. You take the short anywhere above 56.5. You can see the high 56.35. You wait, it drops, you look to cover the short, and then you look to go long. The 5-minute time frame oversold, the 5 correlating with the 15. Okay, then we got the push up here. The 15-minute time frames got overbought into the negative MACD not once but twice. Look at the short. Tesla, well, we're shorting this above the 58 level. And look what Tesla did. Got absolutely kabooshed. All right, even if you caught it down here, it dropped about $2. But you can see once these negative MACDs are in place here, all right, you can see the 15-minute time frame reversing downward. Look at the absolute, look at this, a complete death spiral here, all the way down. I'm not saying we caught it from 58 all the way down. I'm saying that this was an absolute push down off the negative MACDs here. So again, identifying the pattern and identifying the trades. It was a great day in Tesla as well. I want to show you Netflix really quick. I want to teach you the strategy here. Oh, by the way, when Tesla reversed to sell here, okay, now going into tomorrow, we have all MACDs negative on a lot of these 15-minute time frames, also on the 30-minute time frames. So tomorrow, I think if we do get a push up, it's going to be short-lived, and I'll get into that in the second segment, okay? So once the 15-minute time frame reversed to sell, obviously it's late in the day that the highs are in for the day. I wanted to show you that, okay? If we had enough time during the day. Netflix, let me show you this Netflix here. So Netflix, all right, ding, 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 reverses to buy, okay, right here, like around 10:15. Okay, this is a set strategy. Now, when Netflix, okay, the 15 to 30 and the 60-minute time frame MACDs are above the pivot. Okay, when they're above the pivot, okay, and today that happened in Coinbase and Netflix, and I'll show you. Here's Netflix, right? You take the short. This is a short strategy. When the MACDs are above the pivot, making new highs, and the MACD can't confirm, look at this pattern. 1,059, it drops $12. Again, you're pushing up. The MACDs are non-confirming the high, right? You can see the MACDs are non-confirming the high right there on the 5-minute, on the 15, and on the 30-minute time frame. I'll show it to you here. Here's a 30-minute right here. You can see the new high. The MACDs are non-confirming. Here's the 59. Overbought. Netflix got absolutely kabooshed. Now, you can see that when Netflix reversed to buy, you go into a buy trend. All right? You go into a buy trend. But as it's pulling in here, all right, and the 15 reversed to sell finally, guess what? The odds are that the highs are in for the day. That 59 high was in a high for the day. Actually, this high here, 61 right here. This high was in for the day. And then, again, making new highs here. But more importantly, on the new high, when the 15-minute time frame reversed to sell, I knew that that 61 high was not going to be touched right there. So when the 15-minute time frame reversed to sell, look at the low here. I'm saying in the perfect world scenario, the low is 36. I think it was around 38 and a half, 39. Some people were looking to buy it, okay? And then look at this pattern. The oversold condition on the 15-minute time frame against the 30-minute and the 60-minute that are bullish on indicator 4. You get the push up. Here, we actually had someone in my community say, Steve, can you look at Netflix? What do you think? I said, I looked to short this above 53 and a half. The high here was 54, and then it got kabooshed. Look at it, dropped $8, and then it just dropped more at the end of the day. So again, when I'm going to go over this. When the algorithm reverses to buy, and the MACDs are above the pivot, okay, on the 30, the 60, and the 15, 30, and 60, and you get the push up here, you can see the MACDs did not confirm the first high. Then it drops, pushes up again the second time. Right here, MACDs are not confirming on the 15 and the 30-minute time frame. Right here. Here's the 30, here's the 15. The algorithm reverses to sell. The odds are 85% that the highs are in for the day. When you get the new low here, whether you bought it within a $5 range on Netflix, so maybe you bought, 41s down to 36s with a 32 stop, 33 stop. Netflix rallied, boom. Look at that. Look what Netflix did. Rallied almost 18 off that oversold condition, then pushes up into the negative MACD, and then drops about 8. So again, great patterns in Netflix. And let me just show you Coinbase, because I shorted Coinbase based upon this strategy here. All right, Coinbase, again, you can see the 30-minute time frame right here. I actually shorted this today. All right, shorted this on the opening and above 250. But let me show you. You see here when you got the deep oversold condition. So when the 15 got oversold right here, you took the long. That set up the 30-minute, and then Coinbase rallied right here, 191 all the way up about $6.50. When it pushed up, you can see that the 15-minute time frame, the algorithm reversed to buy. When the MACDs were negative, I said, let them have them. Look at this. I was shorting this above 197.30, 197 and a half. Okay, immediately dropped right here about $2. Just never looked back. At the end of the day, I took a nice little long here below 90, about below 95 and a half. Got down to 94.80 and then shot right back up about $1.70, and that was it. So these patterns that I'm showing you, okay, if you understand the strategies, and here I'm just teaching you, these patterns repeat themselves over and over again. It's really important to understand the conditions and how the algorithm works, and how when a MACDs are above the pivot on the 15, the 30, and the 60, and the algorithm reverses to buy, and then you take the first bounce and you look to short, and then you look again for pullbacks, and if the 15s reverse to sell, guess what? I knew that the highs were in for the day. When the spiders, the Qs, the diamonds, and the Russell all reversed to sell around 11:30, guess what? I knew that 85% that the highs were in for the day, but it doesn't mean that there's not buying and sell divergences along the way. All right. I want to show you Lilly really quickly. Look at Lilly from this morning. We caught the short in Lilly on this. Lilly opened, ding, 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 ding. We were short in Lilly in the pre-market above 47.5 off of this negative MACD on the 60-minute time frame. Lilly, where is this going? Let them have them. Now, Lilly was trading again above 847.5. The high was 847.75, right? And look at Lilly. Where is it going with the negative MACDs on the 60-minute time frame? Within literally 2 hours, okay, Lilly from 11:30, Lilly was down. Look at this. You see this? From 46 down to 22, okay? $24. All right? And you're in a negative trend. So again, look at MSTR, another one. Hit 255 this morning. But on MSTR, it was off the 30-minute, making new highs. Look at this. And off the 15. You see these sell divergences? These are absolute. I'm telling you guys, if you come in every day and you just look at your bigger time frames, the 15 to 30 and the 60-minute time frames, you can see the push up here, monster shorts. Okay. Now let me just show you one last one because I got to get into the second segment. Look at the GLDs today. These are absolute Picassos. First bounce here on the 15, right here. That's one. Here's the second bounce on the 15, right? And the 30-minute time frame. Look at this drop in the GLDs. 300, 303.90. Boom. Okay. Drop $26 on gold. Second bounce here. Set up not only the 15, but also the 30-minute time frame. I believe gold was trading, I wrote it down, 33.19. You can see here the GLDs, 304.71. And you can see the drop of about $27, $28 on the GLDs. Okay. Monster day today. Monster day. And most important, okay, how these strategies repeat themselves. I literally have to tell you, I have more to go over here. But the real patterns today was setting up were the 1025 on the long, and then the shorts off the 30-minute time frame, the non-confirmation. We had the pullbacks here around the 12 o'clock time period, and then the push up at 1:30 with the non-confirmations. It was just an absolute overall day. And I tell you, it's just amazing the amount of trades people are doing and the success that I'm seeing. All right, when I get back, I'll tell you what I expect for tomorrow. So for tomorrow, we have 830 number. We have a durable goods order number. And, listen, the market's going to be in this range here. I expect a lot of more volatility. Gold is going to be working off this overbought condition. My first target in gold is 32.20, and then maybe 31.50. I don't see gold breaking 3,000. But right now, let me just give you this number. We're very, very close here. Okay, we're about $1.38 away, which means 13 points on the S&P futures. If the spiders take out 534.04, the 30-minute time frame will reverse the sell. If the Qs take out 452.30 tomorrow, okay, then the Qs will reverse the sell on the 30-minute time frame. We're not nowhere near we're $7 away on the Qs on the 60-minute time frame, and right now we're about $6 away on the spiders. That means the spiders have to close below 53.50 in order to get a sell on the 60-minute time frame. The MACDs are positive on the 60s, okay, which should give some support if we do drop. Okay, if we do get a push up tomorrow, the MACDs are negative. Oh, let me just show this to you really quickly. I want to show you gold. You can see that on the daily charts on gold. You can see here we were 250 points from the 10 bar. You see the 10 bar. I mean, we were 250, maybe more, about 270 points from the 10 bar weighted moving average. You can see this here. And again, the algorithm looks like it could reverse negative before it touches the 10 bar moving average. So again, I do think we have a lot of support here in gold between the 3,000 and the 3,100 level, 3,150, but we'll see. Okay, we'll just watch it. I want to show you Bitcoin. reverse to buy on the daily right here. So this low here in Bitcoin right now, the 74,400. Bitcoin rallied 20,000 off that level. Any push down in Bitcoin should make a higher low. Again, we're a little bit overextended. So if we do get a push down in Bitcoin into the 10-bar moving average around 84, 85, 86,000 should make a higher low here. All right. All right. So with that, that's what I'm looking for. And if gold does do what I think it's going to do and get to that oversold condition, I'd be a buyer of gold here as well. Again, for another push back up. All right. All right. So again, to recap for tomorrow, those big numbers, if the 30-minute time frames reverse to sell, then I'll be looking for shorts. Okay. If we get a push up tomorrow morning after the durable goods order and any news in China or anything like that, the MACD's negative on the 15 and the 30-minute time frames. I'll wait for overbought conditions and I would look to short them. All right. When I get back, I got to tell you another story, and I just tired. I'll see you in a minute. You know, I've been talking so many times to people, and I said in one of my podcasts, there's one phrase I can't stand. And I must have heard it at least a dozen times this week. I know. Now, you know, I have so many other things I want to talk about, but that just, my skin will just fall off every time I hear, I know. I was talking to someone last night. He did something. It's his money, does what he wants. And I'm talking to him, and he says to me, I know. Okay, you know what? This is the real game here, right? And this is, you know, I'm trying to teach people how to eat. I'm trying to help you, guide you, empower you, learn from me. And, you know, I don't take any lunch. I'm here all day long. But more importantly, for me, it's about one thing, to be consistent, right? And don't be your own worst enemy. And really, and don't be the person that's going to destroy your life in any way, shape, or form. So please, I'm begging you, learn, be disciplined, be consistent, and take that phrase, I know, out of your life, okay? It's all especially when you're talking to me, all right? All right, with that being said, thank you for joining me tonight here on The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. I hope I showed you a lot here. I hope you really fully understand the methodology of the combinations of how I look at everything, the conditions, the divergence strategies. Again, if you're a beginner, you'll learn this over time. Those who have been with me are really doing very well. I'm very proud, but this does take time, and everybody has a different learning curve. Thank you for joining me tonight on The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly. Please leave a comment. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please follow me on social media at official Stephen Kalayjian on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, if you'd like to join my community of traders from all around the world, please go to my website, sktrading.live. Again, if you have any questions, you can text me at 914-500-7484. It's my personal cell phone number. I do not DM, so please take that out. I do not do that, or Discord. That is not me. With that being said, I want to say thank you for joining me tonight. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Be well, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to The Bull, the Bear, and the Ugly podcast, your no-nonsense guide to the markets. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe at sktrading.live or on your favorite podcast platform. We'd love for you to rate, review, and join our community for more real talk and market insights. Until next time, keep trading and stay sharp.